So what were the top vote getters?
So the top four were shopping with student housing at Red Cedar site, crosswalks from campus to Frandor, elevated sheltered bus stops on the BRT for the BRT, and park and ride lots for students outside of the Michigan Avenue and Michigan State University area.
Were there any red dots?
There were. We had red dots, one-way bike lanes on Michigan Avenue, got one red dot. Bus-only lanes in congested areas, got two. Parking for customers away from main corridor of Michigan Avenue, behind shopping center at Red Cedar, got three. And Devil's Triangle Roundabout got two. And bike lanes on Grand River got one. And some of these were based on, for instance, like Devil's Triangle Roundabout, the resident had an issue with crossing that roundabout and pedestrian, affecting the pedestrian itself. Bus lanes in only congested areas. There was issues related to too much traffic with those bus lanes in those areas. And then the map shows mainly our focus on Michigan Avenue, making connections from Michigan State to Frandor, I believe is the neighborhood. And then having development next to Michigan State on the Red Cedar site with mixed use housing and commercial development. And then some TOD development along Michigan Avenue and having those BRT stops move along through Michigan Avenue as well. And then those park and ride lots outside of that area to accommodate students to park outside of the center of that area and right into the university and development.
All right, did he get it right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so just to wrap up this part for a moment, someone asked a question earlier, do you give them some, well, education ahead of time? And that's what the Food for Thought lecture was about. I went over it kind of quickly, but I think it's really important to be able to give people a few leading thoughts. Now, there's different ways to deliver that Food for Thought lecture. There are sometimes it's delivered by a world expert, who's a recognized world leader in urban design, and it might be a treatise on urban design talking about how it works in Paris and how it works in, something that really elevates it, and everyone goes, wow, that's totally it. Other people, like me, for instance, when I do it, it's more like what we said, more food for thought. Kind of a soft approach, what we've learned over the years. Let's just talk about some things we've seen over the years that might help you in the exercise you're about to do. Like great place-making communities all seem to have these kind of things happening. So that's in place. Another thing about the exercise, I would say, however you do these things, I think a few things I've learned over the years from this exercise I would always try to do. And one of the things is the idea of having people write down their ideas first, right? In fact, I do that in almost every meeting, any kind of meeting I run. If it's a school meeting or a corporate meeting, whatever we're talking about, everybody take an idea, sit down and write down for a moment. What happens then is it allows, granted that everyone can write, okay, but it allows everybody to participate, to get into the game. Remember, what we're trying to do here is get as much participation by as many people as possible. So there are people who are kind of shy about participating, but perhaps we can get them to write down their ideas and that'll help them get into it. Right? And as we go around, again, the round robin, obviously another idea of how to distribute and then get everybody involved rather than, the naturally dominant characters that would say, yeah, I've got a bunch of ideas, let me tell you about it. And 20 minutes later, you're still listening. No, it's like, could you give me one? And then we'll come back to you. So it flattens out the discussion. So it's just a way to help control it a little bit. And the writing down ideas first gets everybody into the game. Finally, on the dot voting, I would say that the red dots are helpful to allow people to feel like their dissenting voice is recorded and heard. Some years ago I did this, I can't remember where I was, but after the exercise, we were just doing it with green dots, and someone came up afterwards and said, you know, this is really great, everybody seems happy, but you know what? Our community is not really like this. We don't all get along. So where's the rub? So that's when we started doing red dots, to allow someone to say, no, I can't go along with that, and have that spoken and forwarded into the conversation. Because most of the time, those red dots are substantial disagreements, you know, over public-private spaces, trail behind my house, you know, what else do we have up here? You know, like bike lanes in congested areas, and parking for customers away from the main corridor, whatever it might be something you want to make sure that goes forward into the charrette. So I just wanted to point out those few things. You can run these exercises different ways. We find that when we get people engaged in this kind of process, it can change the tenor of a community to a positive approach. People can go away feeling really good about it, and it's a powerful way, you know, collaboration by design is a powerful way to engage people. So that's the quick takeaway on that. Just recorded myself, sorry.